Hello everybody, this is Michelle with Stampin' Butterfly. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. We are going to take a look at the October 2022 Paper Pumpkin Kit that is called Ho Ho Ho, and it is one of our Christmas card kits featuring all-inclusive supplies that are Christmas cards. So this month for November we have another kit coming out that will coordinate with it, and it will be Christmas tags that will match your cards cute. If you missed out on this kit, there are some refills available and you can substitute some of your own stamp sets, but you can still get some of the supplies if you are a subscriber. So let's take a quick look at the cards. Now if you're here, I'd love to see who's out there, so please drop me a hello in the comments. Let's see, so here's our kit, and here's a little sneak peek of the Paper Pumpkin kit that's coming up. So this will be the next month's card kit, and you need to subscribe by November 10th, which is just in a few days, to be able to receive that kit. I'll have links in the comments or the description where you can sign up for the kit if you're not already a subscriber. So let's take a look at what the kit includes. So tonight we're going to go ahead and we will make one of the cards as designed, and then we'll play with the supplies and create something totally different. Then we will take a look at some alternatives that I also made. So you always get your instructions, and they walk you through everything. So we'll go through these in a little more detail when we create our card. But your kit comes with everything you need. It comes with an exclusive stamp set, and this one is really cute. There's also an early espresso ink spot for this kit, and then you get all your card bases, your envelopes, and your coordinating die cut pieces. It comes with some glue dots to help you glue your kit together, or you could use your other favorite adhesive. And then we also have some dimensionals as well in this card kit, and these beautiful shiny snowflakes, so you'll see those as well. And everything's die cut, so it makes it super easy. So here are the cards that I made that are as designed in the kit, and you can change them any way you want. So there's one, and the coordinating envelope, and actually if you look at the instructions, they had matched this one with this striped envelope. I just happened to pair it up with the crumb cake. Here's another card, and it's adorable envelope, and then the Santa with the joy, 'tis the season to be jolly, and that one's another fun envelope on that card. So let's see, what card do we want to make? Maybe we'll go ahead and make this card tonight. So we're going to use our, well actually I have a full-size ink pad, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. It's just easier while I'm doing videos and stuff. It's a little quicker to ink up things. So when you open your instructions, you'll see the first page in here gives you just a quick summary of the different pieces you need to pop out for each card. Then it walks you step by step. And there's also a video on YouTube that will post from Stampin' Up. And then I always try to do a video with some alternatives and fun ideas that I like to share with my customers. So you'll see those as well on YouTube. I usually go live on Facebook, and then you'll see them post on YouTube. So make sure you follow and subscribe so you can keep up to date with everything. So let's go ahead. I think we're going to go ahead and do this card, like I said. So we'll get our pieces first. So we look at these instructions, and we need one of the big snowflakes. So we'll go ahead and pop those out. And let's see, what else do we need? We need Mary. Let's see, there we go. Just gently pop these out of here. All right, we need that. What else do we need? We're not going to really use the envelopes right now. We're going to need our glue dots and dimensionals, so let's go ahead and take those out for later. And card base and a banner. All right, so here is a banner. We'll need the blue one. We'll also need the Santa face, so let's go ahead and grab that while we're at it. What else do we need? We need one of these backgrounds and crumb cake card base. So this one just uses a solid crumb cake base. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Do we need anything else? We have some dimensionals, and then it tells us, oh, we need a skinny one too. Let's grab one of these. All right. Put all our pieces kind of back in here so we can move it out of our way. And we'll grab our sample card, since this is the one we're making. We'll keep that over here. All right, we'll get a little bit of grid paper so that we have a little workspace going on. Scoot all this away. And then we have to determine which stamps we need. So I grabbed a few blocks. Your first kit will come with a smaller block right here, and it will always work for all your kits. So you'll be able to use that on every kit when it comes in. And I have some other additional blocks that I bought, so I'll be using some of those. All right, so we need the Christmas for that. Now we could substitute holiday if you wanted to say Merry Holiday, but that doesn't really sound that good. So we're gonna stick with Merry Christmas. And I'm gonna use this skinny block that I have. All right, there's one. And then we need the Santa face. Let's go ahead and grab that one. Alrighty. And, well, I'm gonna use my bigger block. There we go. I think those are, looking over here, those are all the items we need. All right, perfect. So we're going to take our bone folder so that we can put a little crease on here. And you'll see that it's white on the one side and the crumb cake is on the front side. All right, so that's mostly for assembly. We're going to move all of these pieces off to the side. And we're going to do our stamping first. What do we need? We need to stamp the Santa and the little sentiment. All right, so let's grab our ink pad. Now when you're using the smaller ones, so when you use the ink spot that comes with your kit, which is a little bit smaller and your stamp is a little larger, you can either tap down this way, or you can use the ink spot and tap on the top. Oh, here it is. So you could use the ink spot and go this way to ink it up, or you can just stamp it this way and move it around on your ink spot. So either way works. All right, let's start with Christmas first. Gotta decide which way we want to go. So we're gonna move it around, make sure it has a good coat of ink. When you flip it over, you'll see if it's solid. If you're not sure, you can always stamp off on your paper and then give it another run. Test it out. Now when you first get your stamps, they have a little bit of factory dust, so sometimes it's good to ink up your stamp and maybe stamp it on the cardboard that comes with your kit or on a scratch piece of paper until it gets a nice solid image. All right, so we are just going to go ahead and stamp that in the center of the label. What's nice is if you mess it up, there's some, there's plenty of labels and you can flip it over. So if you don't like that side or it's a little too crooked, you could flip it over and do the other side. And then if you don't like that either, they're a pretty narrow strip of paper, so you could always cut your own and redo it again. Let's see. That's centered. There we go. All right, I think I like that one a little better, so we'll stick with that one. You always get 2 tries if you stamp first and glue second. All right. Santa is a little harder to line up sometimes when you're lining up his face and his hat. So let's just take a little practice run. Some people have been using their Stamparatus and putting in the template. So let's see how well this lines up. So you're trying to line up his hat right there. I didn't ink it yet because I just kind of want to practice, right? And then you want to get to the edges of his face. Now with another thing you could do, let me see if I have my Stamparatus. Oh, I do have it over here. I can show you another way you can do this, which is kind of fun. So let me grab my Stamparatus. This is a stamping tool that you can use when you're making lots of cards or if you're working with templates. It works well for that too. And I have a mat in here because we're using photopolymer. So you'll see I have a mat and some extra grid paper. So we could go through this way and take your stamp, put it face first into the die cut space and kind of center it in there nice so it's sitting in there pretty well. Then you can push your plate down. This is some other project I was working on. And I want to keep that nice and solid on there. Let's double check. It still looks like it's in there pretty good. We're going to do it one more time since the paper moved just a smidge. All right. So we could do that. Now we can go ahead and test it, right? So we'll put the little Santa head back in there. We're going to look at it and see if it looks like it lines up. That looks pretty darn close, so we're going to go with that. Now we're going to ink it up. Now the ink spots work really well for this smaller on the Stamparatus because sometimes you'll get some ink from the big ink pad. So I like using the ink spots that come with Paper Pumpkin when I'm using my Stamparatus. Then we're going to stamp straight down, push down, or if you have your, I don't have my handy dandy little handle over here, but you could use that too. And now I like to, because the photopolymers are sticky, and I could use the 2 magnets, but sometimes I feel like they're going to fly across and hit each other, so I don't always pull out my second magnet. So I might use this to hold the paper down so it doesn't move on me. And that looks pretty good. I think it lined up pretty nicely. So there you go. Some people had some questions on how to line things up well, and your Stamparatus is definitely helpful for that. So we're just going to clean that off with our chamois, and we will move this aside for now. And again, you could have done the same thing with lining it up on your block. But if you're doing a lot of them, using that template is nice if you have a bunch of labels you're making too. It's a great way to do that. All right. So now we have everything stamped and we just need to assemble our card. So look how fast that was for stamping. Let's get our pieces out. Move the block out of the way and grab our glue dots and dimensionals. Here they are. Time to figure out where they went. All right. So if we look at instruction 1, it's saying to put your back down. Now what you could do with this too, and I'm going to do a card in a little bit, is you can use this as a stencil. So if you flipped it over, you could change your card and make it a white background. That looks pretty cool too. Or you can take this and put it on a piece of paper, use your blending brushes, and then create a pattern, take it off. You'd have that grid pattern here, and then you can use your card, this on another card. So it gives you different ways you can use things. All right, so we are going to put them in the corners and one in the center-ish. So let's go ahead and follow those instructions. Now, if you line them up just right, they should fit. So see how I made the point there? You don't want to do that. You want to try to get the flat edges so that they fall within your space. So there we go. That looks like the better way to do things. Gotta play Tetris with some of these. All right, that one looks pretty good. Or you can trim them too, that works as well. And then you want to make sure you get that in there. And then one more in this corner right here. All right, flip them over. That looks pretty good. I don't see any peeking out. So we can go ahead and you can add more. Feel free to add more if you want it to be puffier. You can put them in a lot of different places. You can use that big foam tape we have too if you wanted to run big pieces around. Then we're going to center it on our card base if best we can. If we don't like it, we can move it over a little. Looks like I need a little bit more on that side right there. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. All right. There we are. Okay, next step. There's that. Okay, now we did step 1, we stamped. Step 2, we assembled that. Step 3, we're going to put our snowflake on. So I'm trying to steal the snowflake off my done card. So there's a shiny side and a dull side. Again, you could use this as a stencil too. You could put the dull side down, use your blending brush, put it on a piece of paper, and then make a snowflake with that. So we are just going to use the glue dots they gave us. So now if you wanted to make it puffy, you could put a dimensional behind it too. So let's see, I think I might put 2 glue dots on it. So let me peel the backing off of this one. and then put another one on there. There you go. And it's kind of off to the right a little bit. Now when you're putting these on, you'll want to try to aim for a place that, you know, fits good. So like right now I'm meeting in the corner right there where the little corners meet. You try not to put it in the hole, because then it'll stick to the card base and you lose your dimension. All right, now we need to put some dimensionals on Santa. And you'll see when you try to line him up that you're going to want to put him maybe like the dimensionals near the top and the bottom. And you could even do the other piece first and then put the Santa on. So we'll play with that and see if we need to move things around. And then we're going to need some, that's the side I liked, so that's the side I don't like. Again, let's see if our label fits in there just the right thickness. So make sure you turn it to the right direction so your dimensional's not peeking out at you. And there we go for that one. And then you can see this one, they want you to put the dimensionals on the bottom, or the top actually, depending on where it is when you flip it. So go ahead and put 3 of those on there. And I know they do the video in high speed, so some people are like, it's making me crazy. But that's okay, because you can pause it along the way and then work from there. Okay, so that is going to go on here. So you're going to want the dimensionals, because you're going to want to slide Santa kind of underneath a little. So that's why the dimensionals are going on the bottom. So we can go ahead and do that. We could put our glue dots on the Mary next. So we're going to kind of aim for about where we want his head to be on the snowflake. We want these to kind of line up along the way. So we're going to probably aim for maybe this row right here to kind of fit our dimensionals on. That looks about good. Little Santa guy is going to go here, so we can pop him underneath. And then you could put him facing over the top too if you wanted. So, you know, it's your card. You can change it up however you like. You could hide his face under there like they did in the sample. Or you can pop his face up a little. So maybe we'll do this card with his face up a little. And then we're going to put the Christmas at the bottom. And it's going to overlap a little. So put that about there. Then we're going to grab our Mary, and we will use the glue dots to glue this down. If you have liquid glue, you could also do that. They put a few in different places. You can put them in the exact same place or wherever you please. That works too. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Just make sure it fits. If it overhangs a little, we can kind of bend things around. We can kind of push the little sticky part. So they did 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a bunch of extra. I think that'll look good. Then we're going to go ahead and peel these little backings off. And you can take your pick tool. See, it overhangs a little. I'm just pushing it back onto the paper. No big deal if it overhangs a little, because you can readjust it with that, or you can use your tool. If you don't have fingernails, you can just roll it over with that. All right, last one. We are looking good. And then you can put it at what angle, whatever angle you like. So I kind of like it overhanging a little bit on the outside. And then there you go. Now we also have some gems in here, I think somewhere. There's some little clear gems that came in here. They're in my little box somewhere. Let's see if we can find them. Ah, here they are. Okay. So they come in a little bag. They even give you gems. And then we are just going to pick off a couple. We can put them wherever we want. So let's say I want to put, oh, these are sticky ones. I'll use the pointed edge. So maybe I want one down here. And you could put one in the snowflake. I think my sample card, I put it in the snowflake. Stick into my finger. You could put it in the center. Maybe you want one in the center right here. That's kind of cool. And then you should always do odd numbers. So I've got 2. I need to put one more. Question is, where do we want to put it? Maybe we'll put it down here in this little snowflake. And what's nice is the little spatula tool in here. So if you change your mind, you can flip to the spatula tool And sometimes it'll be forgiving and you can just kind of peel that up and then move it to another spot if you decide you like that spot better. So we're going to leave it where we put it, but that's just another option for you. Oh, that goes on this side. All right. So let's compare the two cards. This one, I put the little dots here and here and one over here. And then on tonight's card, I went ahead and I put the dots on some of these little snowflakey looking places. So there you go. That's one of the fun little cards in the kit. So let's take a look at some of the alternatives I made, and then we can make another one together. All right, let's move some stuff out of the way. I am going to pull some of these dimensional backings off to the side. All right. Another thing I wanted to point out is your kit always comes with these instructions on the back. There is a Paper Pumpkin blog. So if you go there, the QR code, I don't know if it always works, but if you go to Paper Pumpkin, you'll find paperpumpkin.com. You'll find a blog on there, and it'll tell you how they made these and what the sizes are and stuff. So that's kind of a fun place to go. So, and then, so we've got all of that. Perfect. All right, let me double check. I see some comments. I wanted to comment real quick. Hi, Angela. Thank you for joining me. Yes, please, if you share my video, I will do a drawing tonight or tomorrow morning, and we'll message the winner, and I will send you the card that we made tonight. So great question. Thank you so much for checking. So yes, please feel free to share it with your friends. And let me know if you have questions along the way on the card or if you want to see anything else. So let's take a quick look at the alternatives. All right, so what I was kind of playing with when I first saw this card, let's see. So here's the original. So this is what we just made, right? And then I made this alternative. So basically it's using all the same supplies in our kit, and I just kind of changed it around a little. So what I did here is I took this card base here. So let's flip this over. So it's maroon on this side, or the cherry cobbler. And then we have this other strip right here. Let me pull it out without all the goodies on it so you can see what the card base looks like. I think I have extra. Here we go. All right, so this is the card base here. And what I did is I cut it here, and I took this piece, and then I cut this one in half, and you'll see another alternative where I used 1/2 of this. And so you can get more cards out of your kit for sure when you do it this way. So I used this side right here, and I put it behind the backing that we just did so it pops out. It gives you a little more pizzazz in there. And I didn't use the Santa, so I can save him for another project. And instead of using the gems in the kit, I went ahead and used the Fine Sparkle adhesive back gems. So these coordinate with the Gnomes suite, if you're familiar with the Stampin' Up mini catalog that we have. And you'll see that these colors match pretty well. There's some more colors under here. Let me pull them out real quick because the pool party ones work really well. So these light blue ones I've used on some of my alternatives. So for this card, I used these right here and kind of popped them on. I liked them. They were a little bit bigger than what came with the kit. So it gives me a whole nother look to use with my cards. So that's alternative one that I made. And pretty much you could do that pretty easily. The card base, let me just back up. So the card base is 4 1/4 by 11. It's just a standard half sheet of crumb cake. So I did add that from my own crafting stash, but I'm sure you guys have plenty of cardstock floating around and you can kind of mix and match that. So here is the full card, right, of that cardstock that we cut up. And then here's the alternative I made. So I took that half sheet right here that I talked about where we just cut this piece in half and cut it there. So I took that 1/2 and put it on this card. And then I have an extra piece. I can make another card later, so I'll show you some pieces for that. But see, here's the other piece of my card, and I just turned it this way and went ahead and put it on here. And then on here, we've got the ho ho ho. I used some of the stamps from the stamp set that came with the kit and went ahead and just kind of layered that with some Lights of Glow paper. And this has some really pretty gold foiling inside the paper. So that's a lot of fun. So that's alternative number 2. And then alternative number 3, where's the original card? Here we go. So here's our original card from Paper Pumpkin, and I just stepped it up a teeny bit. I used those gems I just showed you right here. And then I didn't use the ho 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 because I stole it and put it on the card over here. And then what I did instead to make it more pizzazz, I made a shaker card out of it. As soon as I saw this shape right here, I thought, ooh, shaker card. So they've already got the rectangle for you. And I just popped up some of our foam strips that you can use for shaker cards. And these are some old sequins I had in my crafty stash. So I put them in there. I think there's some old in colors. And then I went with the black instead of early espresso. I changed up the color just slightly on that one. But the colors are really similar when you look at them because the early espresso is so dark brown. All right. So that is another alternative. So that's alternative 3. So tonight and then these are the original cards as they were designed. So tonight I thought we would play around with making an alternative using the blending brush. So I grabbed some Bermuda Bay, a strip of white, this piece from the Joy card over here. We're going to use that as a stencil, and then I cut a few extra pieces. So I had cut this white piece of paper because I like this backing on this one, but I didn't want to use them all up. So what I did is I used my blending brush and I colored this rectangle. Then I stamped the Santa and some snowflakes in Bermuda Bay. I trimmed up a little piece of black, so we'll probably mat that on our card. So we'll do a little playing. I need to just grab, let me see, I need my blending brush. So let me grab that. I didn't bring that over here. All right, so here we go. I usually use these in color family. So this one is blue. And I'm going to go ahead and just reuse it. You can rinse these, though, if you wanted to. What do we need? We need some ink. And let's see, what else do we need? We need our piece of paper and our stencil. Those are going to be our card pieces. And then I think we're going to go ahead and use the Stamparatus to hold down the paper, and I'll show you how to do that. Here's our stamp set. Let me pull it back out. So what's nice about your Paper Pumpkin kit is you get an exclusive stamp set, and you can use it on so many more projects even after you use up all your supplies. So look how cute these are. Santa Claus is coming to town, holly jolly, delivered to, 'tis the season to be jolly, Christmas, holiday, merry, ho ho ho, and then you got the little Santa and his reindeer. So this is so much fun to be able to continue to create even after you use up your card supplies. And then sometimes we have a refill. Like I said, we do have one for this kit that's still online. So you could buy the refill, which is everything but your stamp set and the inks. So it's all your paper products, so you can make more cards. All right. So we are just going to use this as kind of a placeholder. Let's grab some washi tape. I think we might need some of this. See if it wants to even peel for me. I find the starting point. Where are you? There you are. Okay, sometimes a washi tape is super sticky, so I will just tap it down. You can't see what I'm doing, but I tap it on my shorts to get it a little fuzzy so it's not too sticky. And then we'll go ahead. We're going to flip our stencil over, and we'll put our piece of paper down. So let's use that to help hold the paper. So we're just going to flip that over, and we'll set that on here. You can trace your card. You can see I had a piece of paper traced right there. That was a different project I was working on with my Stamparatus to line up those flowers in the bottled happiness. I did some really cute cards with that. Okay, so I'm going to line it up with a little strip on each side. And we might want the second magnet. Now, when I got my Stamparatus, I put this duct tape on there. Of course, I had to buy teal because it coordinates with my colors, and it's my favorite color. So I put those on there to keep it so if they do bang into each other and they shatter, they don't break all over my project. All right, so we're going to use our blending brush. And generally, there's two different methods the way people ink it up. Some people tap it and some people kind of swirl it. Then you want to start off of your paper and work on so that you don't get a big dark blob. So we're going to ink that up. And then, now if, I'll try to be precise and not go over the edge, but you could also put a piece of painter's tape or washi tape here so you don't accidentally, depending on how big a swirl you make, so you don't accidentally color pieces you don't want colored. So we're going to go ahead, and you can make your stenciling as dark or as light as you want, however many coats. I don't want to keep you here all night, so we'll see how many coats we put on. But you can also do this on your regular desk. I just find the Stamparatus is nice to help hold things down. Has lots of different uses for you. Ooh, getting close to the edge. Gotta be careful. And get to the bottom. Guess I'm painting my fingernails. All right, so you can swirl them like that. And then I need a little more on this side. I always seem like I lean to one side when I ink up my brushes. I think it's because I'm right-handed. All right. I feel like we need a little more ink over here. Take a look at it. And what's nice is I can still use this. So you can use this as a stencil on a bunch of cards and then use it to make your last card. So we're going to move that out of the way. All right. Then look, there you go. Look how fun that is. And if you flip it over, you still have your pretty crumb cake side you can use on a card, or we could have just covered the whole outside of this and made it one color. We could also come back later and use a different color, like maybe you want to go around the edge with like Orchid Oasis. So you can come back with your blending brush and use this side instead. So we're going to set that aside because we are done with that. And I'm going to stick one of these back over here so I don't crash them together. The other thing that's nice about using the duct tape is it makes it easier to pick them up because they're super, super sticky. So once they hit the magnet, they're hard to pick up sometimes. So having that extra little handle is great. All right, so here's our card base. Just a standard half sheet of cardstock, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. We're going to go ahead and give it a good crease. And they give you tons of dimensionals, so we can even reuse those. And I did this stamping earlier because I was playing around with it, and I just cut a little piece of paper. So let's take a look and see what our card would look like. So that's pretty cute. All right, so we're going to glue this down. Now, if you have scraps of paper, sometimes when I'm designing, I might just have a random something laying around, and I stick it under there, and it just looks really cool. So like if you had a scrap of paper, you might even stick that under there. Let's see what I have floating around. I have a circle, so that's really not super helpful, but you know, maybe we want to do that with this. So let's take a look and see. So when you're playing around, probably should be using my silicone mat sitting off to the side. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and glue that down, center it on our card base, and I like the liquid glue because I can wiggle it a little bit before I'm finished and get it to the right place. Then we're going to go ahead and glue these two together. Now if you had some ribbon, we could add some pretty ribbon. I didn't bring them over to my little table over here. So do that. Perfect. And then I think we're going to go ahead and dimensional it because that's kind of close. Let's see. Or do we want to turn the card this way? Oh, that's kind of cool. I think I like the way that looks because with the snowflakes kind of over the top. All right. Sold. See, look, you design on the go. So I didn't know what this card was going to look like when I started. But it's always fun playing around with your kit when you get it, and you can create so many different things. You can do it exactly as it's shown, which is super cool, or you can just start playing with the pieces and create other stuff and make it more versatile. You can cut it up and get a lot more out of it. Another fun thing to do is to cut up the envelopes. And I've done that on some of my other videos. You'll see where I cut the envelopes up because they're so pretty. And you can make additional cards with those. All right, what do you think? I think that's cute. So we could, if we wanted to pop the color, give it a pop of color, we could do that. But I don't think I want that's too big. Let's see, I have some other random things here. Do we like crumb cake on here? What do we think about that? All right. That's kind of cool. Or we could just keep it simple. Maybe we'll just keep it simple. I don't know. Can't decide. Maybe if that were smaller, we could do it. Do we have any extra banner pieces in our kit? Let's see what we have. Oh, you could also, well, I'm thinking about it. You guys can save these extra little pieces in here and die cut other smaller snowflakes if you have some stuff floating around. And we could even color these. So if we wanted our snowflake to be blue, we could flip it to the dull side and use those same blending brushes. So let's see how these look. It's kind of fun. Let's see, do we want, I think I just want to put it on there. It's simple. So this is the stitch rectangle from the kit, and I did it in black. This side didn't come out as well, so we're going to use the other side, and we'll just pop it up with some dimensionals. All right, so if I'm going to overlap, I don't want to put too many dimensionals, right, because this side's going to be flat. So I think we'll put a glue dot on this side to keep it stuck to this other panel over here. So you can see we created our own paper right there. I mean, we just took a square and we used the items in our kit plus a blending brush and created our own fun paper. Get the backing off of that guy. Oops, sorry, that's in your eyes, guys. Didn't realize. Okay, so now we just decide where we want the sentiment to be. I think I like it about here. So many choices. All right, I think we'll go with this one. Perfect. And we can add some gems, so we can do the blue ones in here. I think these will be good, because when you use your blending brush, you can see the Bermuda Bay is a lot lighter. I didn't go super dark on that. So let's see, maybe we want to put some in the centers. Oh, that's kind of fun. I like that. So we can do 3 of those, because that's what's left since we covered up one of them. And then one more over here. I like that. What do you think? Kind of fun and different. All right. So let me see if there's any questions. That's our alternative we made tonight. So to recap, our paper pumpkin kit has 3 different style cards. It's all inclusive. It's got all your stamps, ink, and die cut pieces in there for you. You can also make alternatives like I did tonight, or the ones that I showed you where you just mix up your kit a little bit and use mostly what comes in your kit. So let's take a look at the cards again. So these are the cards as designed in the kit. Now I got to remember which ones I changed. So there we go. We changed that one. We changed this one. And then these are the as designed in the card kit. So lots of fun. And different things that you can do with your kit. Now, if you're interested in next month, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Let me flip you back. So if you are interested in next month, please let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help. You can message me or email me. And then as long as you're subscribed by the 10th, you'll be able to get the super cute coordinating tags. And there's always lots of fun ideas. So if you decide, oh, I don't want all tags, you can probably make them into gift card holders or additional cards. So I'll be sharing ideas with that as well. And every month I do a paper pumpkin video, putting together one of the cards and then also showing some alternatives I've made. I'm a little behind, so stay tuned. You might see some more videos popping up on YouTube. I'll probably post them there directly with the last couple months kits. I think I still have August and September. Let's see, this is October. So yeah, I think I might have August and September. Everything's created. I just need to put together some videos. So if you're looking for some fun ideas on those kits, make sure you check back with me. Any other questions? Let me double check and see. I think that is it. There are no other questions. Again, if you share my video, please put a comment below that you shared it, and I will be doing a drawing. I'll probably give you guys a couple of days in case somebody's catching the replay. So let's see, what's today is Sunday. So Wednesday I'll check back and then we'll go ahead and pick a winner, and I will mail you out the cute card that we made tonight. And I will also give you my alternative card. So I'll mail you both of those, and I will message you to get your address. So make sure you check your messages. Again, thanks so much for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed the cards, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Make sure you subscribe to my Facebook and YouTube channel to stay up to date. And if you want to order any supplies, my website's at the top, and I will have the paper pumpkin link in the comments as well. Have a great night. Thank you so much.